Hi Chris, good morning.
Morning.
Obviously not a garden walk at the moment, but I'm sure a number of our fans will recognise where we are. You're up here today with the first team and the rest of the squad pre-season training?
Yep, we started back on Thursday. We had a real meet and greet session, fun games, and it was a nice session. It allows everyone to get used to the area and whatnot that haven't been here before. And then we've come up here today for the second session. I think the boys will see the hills and get a little bit nervous.
Are you not going to beast them up and down the hills?
No, I think those days are gone.
At least one.
We're doing some testing today. So we're getting an understanding of where the boys are at the start of pre-season. And the balls are out every session. It's a bit of a change these days now.
And do they have a sort of plan that they try and follow over the summer in the break, or do some of them just have a total break?
Again, probably being very different. Like a lot of it wasn't that long ago that we actually finished, and it comes around so quickly. Where the leagues have kind of moved their start date, we come back quite early anyway. But the majority of the lads keep themselves fit, so they were given something by Scotty that sort of sees them into the start of pre-season.
They've got to look good on the beach, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I think that's probably the main denominator. But they're given a small programme by Scotty that's realistic around life as well. So it gives them a break for a few weeks and then they jump back on it.
I guess pre-season, especially sort of like in the run-up to it, and then pre-season games is when we see the famous Triallists.
Yeah.
Have you got a few lined up?
We have. We've been quite selective. There's been a real shift in probably recruitment strategy over the summer. We're in a place where really happy with where we're at, actually. If I'm totally honest, we've got some good lads coming. We've got players. We've got some good lads that have come in that have agreed to sign. I think the main importance, Neil, was that we've managed to keep the players that we felt would fit philosophy for this year, and everyone that we wanted to keep on that would fit into the mould of what we're going to try and do moving forward have all said yes. Naturally, there has been some players that we've had to part ways with, and that's probably down to that shift in playing philosophy and probably asking them to do things that wouldn't suit them and wouldn't suit us. So yeah, we've got boys that have come in. We've got a few trialists, but we won't have loads of lads that we don't know. We've got
this time of year, everyone sort of notices that we're a little bit quiet in our announcements, but I mean we always do that.
Yeah.
But there's a good reason for that, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean you can't actually sign a form until the start of July, so it's a lot of, listen, not knocking any, people do things differently and we choose to do it slightly differently. We always announce late once lads have signed the registration form. I think it also builds towards the start of the season, but it stops you getting egg on your face. I think alone in the last 2-3 weeks, I've seen 4 or 5 occasions where a lad's been announced and then he's popped up somewhere else. So you've got the logistics of media and getting headshots and all of that done as well, but it's also nice that you have that break and then the season's starting to edge closer, you get the dates and then all of a sudden, he's staying. Yeah. It's not too hard to work out who has stayed and who's gone from the current players, because people don't announce things. But like I say, there's such a shift from week to week, and we've had 2 or 3 in our league where they've made big announcements and then it comes back around. Yeah. We've had one lad that it's for his business to announce it, that decided to stay, that we wanted to keep, and this past week he's decided that he's going to step away from football. So we'd rather announce once we know the form signed and we've got the build up towards the season rather than this off-season space. It's off-season, isn't it?
Yeah. And 2 weeks to the first pre-season friendly? 2 weeks.
We've actually got one before. We've got an in-house and then we've got a game behind closed doors against Biggleswade as well. So with a shift in playing style, what we've done is we've reduced the number of games that we've got, and we've increased the number of sessions that we've got so that we can work on pattern of play and formations and job roles and responsibilities.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a bit of a different focus going into next season.
And everyone's looking forward to it?
Yeah, I don't think they're looking forward. The older boys have. I got a few text messages. Scotty got a few text messages on Thursday. Who were like nervous about the return.
Oh right. I thought you were going to say a few hamstring tweaks.
Yeah, no. I'd like to think we're a bit more forward thinking than that. But yeah, obviously graft has to come into it. The test they'll do today will give us a gauge of where they're at. They set a target for what they need to be before the start of the season.
And then Scott in that look at those test results and adjust them accordingly.
Yeah, so again, it's testing. It's not a punishment. It's if you fall at a certain level, then we know that we need to do top ups with you to get you to a point.
Yeah.
You know, rather than just.
So it's not a one size fits all. It is kind of like a level of personality.
No, I mean, there's different physical requirements on each position. So each person has to be able to run more. So. If I take centre halves, I don't expect centre halves within the testing to be running as far as our wide players or our wing backs, you know. Yeah, I should have played centre half. But yeah, so no, there's a thought process behind it, and they've all got their own benchmarks that they need to hit and stuff. So it's gearing up quite nicely. We had a good chat. Like Thursday was a real nice session. There was a good atmosphere around the place. A couple of the new boys seemed like real good characters, so that was nice, and they sort of know what I look like and they know the area and whatnot. So yeah, it's been a real positive start. We are talking to a few players still. You get the National League merry-go-round. There's only 20 odd teams, but there's about 4,500 players that are trying to get into those. So you have to wait for a certain degree to sign a few, but yeah, it's sort of all mapped out and planned so far.
And all the lads will be a bit happier that it's a little bit cooler today.
Yeah, I said that to Lou on the way up. It was like it's probably good that they're going to do their testing in calmer conditions, because we'll get maybe a more accurate score than they would when it was steaming hot. So we did it last year, and you stay there. It's my daughter. It's not a dog. I'm not told. Yeah. And we did it last year, and Joel Nakatani-Brown did really well in it. So yeah, we'll see.
Cool, nice one. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.